Hey everyone, I'm Scott Stokely. Right off the bat, we're camping on North Padre Beach. It's way too windy to shoot out there, and it's still windy inland, but I'm going to do my best to talk loud. So I am building my bag for 2022. This is the first of many videos in this series because I'm going to devote an entire video to every single disc in my bag, why I throw it, and how I think you should throw it. So I am starting with, of course, my putter, which is the Berg. I made an entire video. There's going to be a link about how to choose a putter. The Berg is not automatically the best putter in the world for everybody. It's the best putter for me because it fits my hand, but also because it does not fly too far past the basket. It passes the chains and goes and just drops. That I also get to be more aggressive when I putt this disc without fear of comeback putts. So me personally, I'm putting the Berg next year, except for certain situations, which I'll get to in other videos. But I'm also throwing the Berg on approach shots. You could say drives as well if they're short drives, but basically on shots that I can reach with the Berg, I'm often going to throw the Berg. The reason why, another video I made about throwing the slowest disc for every hole, is that when you throw a slow disc, and the Berg is the slowest disc in my bag, slowest disc ever maybe, when you make a mistake and throw this disc too far, or too hard rather, it doesn't go too far. It tends to not penalize you as much as any other disc. But there's a couple other reasons. First, it's a super straight flying disc. It flies very, very true without fade. And I think one of the reasons I really like this is because I'm an old school Frisbee player, and old school Frisbees didn't fade. You throw a backhand with a Discraft Ultra Star or a 165 or a 40 mold, you throw the disc, it might turn a little bit in the air, but at the end of the flight, it doesn't tail off the way a golf disc does. And I learned how to control and throw those when I was yay tall. That's what the Berg does. When the Berg flies straight, it does not end its flight tailing off. That, to me, makes it more predictable. It doesn't go far past the basket. It doesn't tail off. Now, the Berg is not the perfect approach disc for every shot. If you need to throw a shot that's going to fly and then fade and bank around a tight turn, Berg's not the right disc. I do have the right disc in my bag. I'll be talking about this later, but that's not what the Berg is. The Berg, even if it starts to tail, or if you put hyzer on it on a backhand, it is still going to penetrate forward. Not far, because it's slow, but it'll penetrate forward. It has a very specific flight path that you will use on certain shots, or certainly I'm going to use on many shots. There's even a final reason why I love the Berg. I've been on the Berg for the last couple of years raving about it. Y'all have heard me if you follow me. There's no such thing as a sidearm disc in disc golf. Okay, get that out of your head. All you're doing is reversing the spin of the disc, and when you reverse the spin of the disc, it gives it opposite flight characteristics from backhand to sidearm. Clockwise spin, counterclockwise spin, angle, speed, rotation being equal, you're just going to get a mirror image flight. Every disc in your bag is a sidearm disc, as well as a backhand disc. With one slight caveat to that, and that is, it is a different grip. You're holding the disc differently. A lot of players, myself included, have found that when you try to grip a deep rimmed disc sidearm, it's harder to get a clean release. Now, grip is individual, just like in my other videos I talk about. So you might have a way better result with a deep rim disc on a sidearm. I don't. I like flatter, lower rim discs, especially one where I can pinch my thumb in, which means this is the disc. I keep holding it upside down. This is the disc that I'm going to be throwing for sidearm approach shots as well. I can just get this perfect release every time with this disc. When I set it at a 12-degree anhyzer, it's going to be 12-degree anhyzer 50 feet out of my hand. Where if I didn't get a clean release, it would wobble, the angle would change, I would have to predict that. That makes the Berg more predictable for me on my sidearm approach shots. In fact, there's even times when I'm going to throw a sidearm anhyzer approach shot instead of a backhand, simply because 44 years of doing this with Frisbees has me pretty dialed in on that shot. So the Berg is the first disc in my bag. Another video is going to be coming out. In fact, I'm going to be shooting my next Tour Series disc starting for the week today. I'm going to North Padre Island. I'm going to play a 52,000 foot golf hole since I'm 52 years old. Down the beach, par 173. I'm not throwing hard, it's like too windy. But I'm gonna go do that next, and I'm gonna be throwing the stall, my Tour Series stall from Kastaplast. But until then, that's why I throw the Berg. Love it. Oh, I forgot to tell you where to buy them. That's kind of important, right? You can go buy them at Stokely.net. I'm like so excited to tell everybody about them. I wasn't even thinking about selling the darn things. I was just thinking about, you guys should throw the Berg. Stokely.net. Get on the mailing list. You'll be notified every time a new product drops. There's a shop link. You can click the shop there. I'll also be putting specials and stuff like that. Once I'm like over the hill and no one wants to throw my discs anymore, they'll be on sale too. That's where you're going to get that information. All right, thanks guys.